quite a complex situation. So Tulip Siddiq is the Labour City Minister. She's the niece of Sheikh Hasina, who's the ousted dictator of Bangladesh, who was in power over two periods for about 20 years. She's currently in hiding in India. Now, in December, we reported that Tulip was one of the people connected to said aunt, who was under investigation by the new Bangladeshi government's Anti-Corruption Commission into, among other things, claims that she benefited, along with the rest of her family, from a grafty, shall we say, nuclear deal with Russia, which was agreed with Vladimir Putin in 2013. And indeed, at the signing of that agreement, Tulip Siddiq was present and was photographed. Now, that investigation is ongoing. And today, the Bangladeshi Finance Intelligence Unit, which is responsible for looking into illicit transactions and money laundering, has requested to see the bank accounts of the Labour City Minister. So it's all a bit murky at the moment, and the government has kept her in post. Interestingly, she's Economic Secretary to the Treasury, which means that in her brief, she is also responsible for dealing with money laundering and illicit finance. So it slightly beggars belief, and it's a very complex situation. Concurrently, it has to be said, the UK media has been reporting on links between Hasina, her party, the Awami League, and properties that are lived in or have been lived in or owned by Tulip Siddiq, of which there are, from what it seems, at least 5. So this is a deepening and complex situation from which the city minister looks to be on quite shaky ground, to be honest with you.
Well, look, hey, it's not a good look, and very shortly we're going to be reading an incredibly strong rebuttal on this from numerous different parties, including Tulip Siddiq's aunt. However, in the meantime, not a great look for the Labour Party, is it? Where, it's not been great headlines for them pretty consistently for a while now, to have someone who's, anti-corruption minister who's embroiled in this kind of nonsense.
It's not a great look, no. I think it reflects badly on the UK, and I think it damages our reputation to have this stuff ongoing, and for it to unravel and deepen in such a way without any meaningful action from the government here in the UK. So Siddiq has referred herself to Laurie Magnus, who's the independent advisor on ministerial standards, but he's not going to look into corruption. He's going to look into whether she's breached the ministerial code, which is a whole nother issue, right? So I think it does raise questions as to when, if at all, the UK may launch its own investigation into the potentially network of embezzled funds in the UK. Now, this may not be linked to Tulip Siddiq at all. She, of course, denies all wrongdoing. But I think more needs to be uncovered here, and there are serious questions that have to be asked about what's going on.
Exactly. Serious questions have to be asked about what's going on. And also, you can't help but notice the contrast between numerous different, as they were at the time, shadow Labour ministers calling for everyone to go if there was even a whiff of a slight investigation, versus what we have now, which is, of course, Tulip Siddiq remaining entirely in post. Can I just say a massive thank you to that? And sorry it was so short, but as you can imagine, I now have a couple of lengthy rights of replies to read out to my viewers and listeners. So, Max, thank you. Max Young there, the news editor at Guido Fawkes. In her letter to the ministerial standards watchdog, Sir Laurie Magnus, Tulip Siddiq said, "In recent weeks, I have been subject to media reporting, much of it inaccurate, about my financial affairs and my family's links to the former government of Bangladesh. I am clear that I have done nothing wrong." Now, an advisor for Tulip Siddiq's aunt, Sheikh Hasina, has previously denied all allegations of corruption and money laundering as being completely bogus and a smear campaign. There we go.